So I was thinking about, um, I do all my, everyone kind of, their brilliant ideas come in the shower. Well, my brilliant ideas come in church when I'm in church in the morning. I go to morning mass and just kind of contemplating belief and faith and things that drive us. And it was kind of an interesting thing. It kind of was a revelation to me as I was thinking about the gospel reading um, and talking about, so this is, I'm trying to, maybe make an analogy. So I'm not going to try to preach at you at all, although I may sound preachy. But I was talking to Patrick about this morning. I was kind of bouncing some ideas on what to talk about today. And I really got fired up thinking about, like when, when Jesus rose from the dead, the apostles saw that, and then he came and showed himself to them. It was like, wow, they were like fired up. I mean, they were like jacked up, excited. Their belief that, he said he was going to rise from the dead happened. And even though Thomas didn't see him, he was doubting. But the bottom line is they were jacked up, fired up, man. I mean, like, if you saw that happen, what would you do? You'd want to share it with your friends. You get all fired up. And so, it's not so much kind of the religious, spiritual aspect as it is as it is, you do what you believe in. You do what you believe in the most. You do what you think about the most, and you do that what you believe in that will work. Right? So when I think about how they were just wanting to tell the world about, Jesus rise from the dead, I'm thinking, what's holding the typical agent, not say typical, but an agent back from really blowing this thing up? And I think a lot of it is faith and belief. Faith and belief. It's believing that this thing's going to work for you. And so you kind of had to characterize it. I have people that just come out of the gate swinging. I'm talking like swinging for the fences because they so totally believe this thing's going to work because they see the evidence around them. There's like no doubt in their mind. And part of it comes from hanging around other people that have that belief. Part of it is the belief that they know that they've been successful in other things, right? Part of it is that they choose to believe that they can do the same things that other people are doing in order to become successful. And so, as many of you know, that I've been doing GS3 goal setting calls with people and hearing kind of what track they're on, kind of where they're going. And my whole thing with that is trying to get them to move forward towards that goal and checking in with them often to keep them moving towards that goal, to get some kind of momentum going. And a lot of my GS3 calls and a lot of the things that I do when I talk to agents is get them to believe more that if they do more, they're going to get more. So I got to get them to do more. I got to get them to believe in themselves that they can actually do this if they make the dials and they keep dialing and they get, better leads, easier leads, the A leads, and the fresher leads, that they'll have a little bit more dialing efficiency. Okay, I'm not going to say success because we got agents that are killing it on RW leads only. They can pound all those leads and find the gems that are still left in there, the sales that are still left on the RW leads. But they've got the wherewithal and the stamina in order to do that. Well, here, to me, it's knowing that you're going to get something, a return on your efforts. And so so what does it look like? What does it sound like an agent who believes even before they even got started? And that's kind of the thing I gauge is like, even before you get started, where's your belief in the business and in yourself? Because that's ultimately, because it's one thing to believe that other people can do this business and can make the dials and make sales like Andrew and Cord, and it's another thing to believe that you can do it. So even though you believe others can do it, can you do it? Okay, and that's sometimes the gap that we're dealing with. And so to characterize someone who gets started at a very high level of intensity, high level of belief, typically are people that have a high self-image. They believe in their success, their ability to become successful because of things they've done in the past, that they know if they apply the same courage and the same faith and belief and the same work ethic that they've done in the past, and the same coachability, learning for people that are doing what they want to do, they know if they've done it in the past to become successful, they can just apply the same things here in order to attain the same success. It might be a different road, but it's all pointing towards the same direction if they apply the same things. And so one of our agents, I'm not going to disclose the name, but she wrote down here her goals. So she wants to do a GS3 call with me. And so she wrote down these goals in this email. I want you to listen to this. She hasn't started selling yet because she hasn't got her licenses all finalized, her fraternal license and everything. And she's gone to hotspot meetings. She's been on all our training, got through all of our training, lickety split on our boot camp website. And then she's like tearing through the NAA University stuff. So short-term 90-day goals. Okay, so this is all in this one email. So this is April through June. So number one, 20,000 initial paid premiums per month, not later than, okay, so she has kind of a date in mind, June 2015, averaging 5 contracts per week, 5 applications per week. She wants to get 4 wide and 4 deep in one leg, 2 deep on a second leg, not later than the end of May 2015. She wants to be the hotspot coordinator in her local area by the end of May 2015. Weekly hotspot meetings. She wants to have a guest at every meeting at the weekly hotspot meetings by the end of May. She wants to get her non-resident license in 5 states by the end of June, and then contracted with additional companies. Okay, so that's the short-term goal. The intermediate term financial goals, so this is July through September. Team leader, not later than end of July 2015. 26,000, 28,000 issue paid premium. Okay, an average of 6 to 7 contracts per week. Begin a bi-weekly hotspot in a location other than where she lives by August 2015. So she's got this expansion mentality. 15,000 per month in commissions, 3 agents at 5,000 per month that she's brought on, and that she's 6 wide. And then she's contracted with additional carriers. Long-term financial goals for 2015, key leader by the end of the month, September. Finished 2015 as a member of the Elite Ladies of the Alliance. She wants to get her health insurance license by September. She wants to do annuity sales every month, and 6-figure income run rate by the end of the year. Activity goals, okay? So this is her activity goals. So she's got these short-term, intermediate goals and long-term goals. Now she's got her activity goals. So her activity goals are $275 per week. In other words, meet the haystack challenge of 55 haystacks. 22 contacts per week, 12 to 15 appointments per week, a 70% care ratio, 50 recruiting dials and contacts per week, 30 new leads purchased every week for 4 weeks, 10% profits invested in her A leads every week to get 10 A leads per week, 4 GMRs in different counties for weekly rotation. So she's thinking, I can't probably do all this in one county on one GMR. I got to rotate various counties where I can get my GMRs filled. 5% profits reinvested in recruiting, 100% attendance at the hotspot meetings, attend all training events and conference calls. All right? Okay. That characterizes someone at a high self-image level that believes, and she hasn't sold one policy, she hasn't made one phone call. Okay, so that to me characterizes someone who believes in herself. Okay, now the question is, we're going to put her on the path. I really don't have to coach her because she already knows what she has to do. I just have to tweak her. So when she embarks on this journey, my job as a coach is to tweak her when she goes off track, or get her to get back on track with meeting her goals or readjusting goals. You know, but she knows what she has to do. She's got to make the dials. She has to get the GMRs in place. Okay, so my question is, where are you on the spectrum of someone who kind of hopes that this is going to work, and who says, well, I'll just kind of work these bonus leads you're giving me until, you know, I make a sale. And, you know, maybe I'll dial $50 this week. Okay, and I'm hoping this will work for me. I'm doing this part-time, hoping this will work. Part-time's okay, by the way. And I don't even think she's doing this full-time. I think, I'm not going to call it out, but I don't think she's even full-time. I don't think. Someone who knows, can you text me? I think these are part-time goals, I believe. So, her upline, can you text me to let me know? Okay, she's part-time. These are her part-time goals. And I believe she can do every single one of those part-time. And then Andrew says, man, she makes me feel like a slacker. Oh my gosh, she makes me feel like a slacker. I thought I was working. So that's someone who believes. I mean, man, I love it. Her upline said, so what are you going to say to her? I'm going to say, I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to mess her up. Are you kidding me? I'm going to calmly say, I love it. You can do it. Go do it. Because, well, what am I going to say to enhance her belief level? I'm not going to say any. What can I say? I can't say anything. Because someone who has it that focused will not be denied. And you know what? Even if she got half those in the time that she's, oh my gosh, she's way further along than she would have been had she had 0 goals. I love the fact that she also has her activity goals about plugging in and being part of hotspot meetings and being on conference calls. It's like the 18-player steps, which I'm sorry, I got to get those books out to those of you that asked me for them. Okay, the 8 steps to success. Okay, this book right here, it's all incorporated in her goals. And I'm going, dadgum, man. So I'm not going to say anything to her to slow her down. $60 million and been on some points. Oh, okay, so she wrote a policy already. So, okay, so she's in motion. She's in motion right now. She already wrote a policy. So anyway, like I said, I'm not going to disclose her name. But where are you on the spectrum of belief? Are you that person that just got started that doesn't really know if this is going to work, versus this gal who knows this is going to work and she just implements the game plan? I think belief has everything to do with it. And so this is a talk on faith and belief and what you think you can do and how that translates. Okay, all I can, it's this formula like here. Faith times work. Faith times work. I'm just going to call miracles happen. It's not really miracle. It's not like good stuff happens. Miracles. A miracle to you maybe. Miracle like, oh, I can't believe this happened. Well, you can believe it, you know, because you exercise faith times work. You can't just have faith, because faith without works is what they say is dead. You might have faith. You might have faith in gravity, but until you jump off the top of the roof of your house, that's when you know it's going to work. But why don't you jump off the roof of your house? Well, because you know you'll probably splatter on the ground and die. To me, that's belief. That means if you exercise the laws of gravity, that it's going to work. So that's why you don't jump off, you know, your hotel balcony. Right? That's what's amazing to me, is that you exercise faith and belief every day in normal things. Like, for example, you're driving on a highway, a 2-lane highway, and when I drive up to Fort Wayne, I'm on the road a lot with those two-way highways. You're traveling 55, 60, and the only thing separating from you from a head-on collision is probably about 3-4 feet, right? And you still do it, having faith and belief that that person's going to stay on their side of the road and you're going to stay on yours. Well, that's easy. No, it isn't easy, because you know that people die on the roads. In fact, more people die in traffic accidents than they do on an airplane. So, in fact, it's safer to fly in an airplane than it is to get in your car and drive. You can look it up. Statistically, that is true. So even though you hear accidents of people getting killed on head-on collisions and a Mack truck going out of control and wiping out 5-6 families in vehicles, you still drive on your side of the lane, praying and hoping, or just taking for granted that other person coming down the road at you at 55, 60 miles per hour is going to do the same as you. When you have evidence around you to know that that's not always true, but you still operate on the faith and belief. Well, actually, I don't have any choice, because if I want to drive and get somewhere, I need to believe that that person is going to do the same thing I'm going to do, say, on their side. Well, dadgummit, man, that takes faith. That takes belief, but you still get in your car. So it's amazing the things that we put faith and belief in around us that we don't think a second. But the minute someone says, you know what, if you put a GMR in and you dial the phone $275 a week, good things are going to happen. You're going to make your money back and then some. You're going to make multiples of your money back. You just have to believe in you and believe in our system, believe that we're here to help you, believe that everything is there, all the forces are in play to help you become successful with this thing. As long as you exercise faith and the work to do it and the belief it's going to happen by believing in yourself, believing in us as your team, your support team, believing in Andy Albright that he's guiding the Alliance in the right way, and believing that the whole system's designed for your success. Right? Believing that when you go to a hotspot meeting that you're going to get something good from it. There might be one thing good from it that you're going to get. Because we don't have you go to hotspot, because you're not paying for hotspot meetings. We believe that you're going to get good stuff from it. We believe that only good things and positive things are going to happen if you go there. That it's going to tweak your brain just a little bit to help you make that next sale. Something that you learn from Gina Hawks, that she flies all over the country and she comes to a hotspot meeting. She's not doing it for her health. She's doing it because she believes in the business. She's getting paid by Andy Albright to go out there and serve you. And she gives 100% of her efforts and her knowledge to help you grow. She's doing something special. She's not at every hotspot meeting. And then when you don't go, then you missed out on an opportunity to get that much better, to get a return on that investment of time, to get a return on your gas. You're going to get something good from it. And I don't get paid because you show up. Okay? I don't get a cha-ching because you show up. I get a cha-ching because you make money. Because you get a cha-ching. That's the only cha-ching I get, is when you get a cha-ching. Right? So why wouldn't you want to go? Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of the opportunities? Well, I don't know. Maybe because you don't believe. Maybe you don't believe that you're going to derive the benefit from it. All I know is what I see. And what I see is that the wealthiest people in this business that make a lot of money go to these meetings. The wealthiest people that make a lot of money attend conference calls. The wealthiest people that make a lot of money with us read books. The wealthiest people that make a lot of money with us do all these things in the 8 steps to success. I mean, I can't make it more plain for you, but you got to believe it. You got to believe it, man. And so if you're willing to believe that someone's going to stay on their lane, well then, gosh, you've got every ability to believe in yourself and believe that doing the things that you need to do to make it happen the way we're teaching, why wouldn't you want to go all out, all in, instead of dipping your toes in the water and just kind of seeing if maybe it's going to work? Why not bet on you that this thing's going to work and just believe and have faith that it will work, right? Faith times work. All right, that's the formula to be successful in anything in life, right? But it's amazing, again, what we take for granted. Like, for example, another example is that you pay your cable bill, okay? You pay your cable bill with the belief that your cable will still be on when you get home so you can watch your ESPN or watch your favorite show, Walking Dead, which I love that show. But that the cable and internet's going to be on you when you get home. Because stop paying your bill and then see what happens. They turn all that stuff off. You pay your water bill expecting your water to turn on when you take a shower the next morning. You pay your electricity bill knowing that they're not going to turn the electricity off. In fact, you expect it. And then if your electricity is not on, you're going to get mad because, but you know what? You're writing that check or you're paying it online fully expecting the water to turn on when you turn it on, fully expecting the cable to be on when you change that channel to ESPN, fully expecting the air conditioning to pop on when it gets hot or the heat to come on when it gets cold. You pay your bill in full expectation that things are going to happen. So if you're willing to exercise faith knowing that that's going to happen, why can't you exercise faith and put the work behind it? Because you're exercising the exact same faith and belief in those things that it takes to make this business work. Now again, faith is only the intent. Work is putting that intent into practice. And that whole part of putting the faith into work is believing that when you do the work that the miracles are going to happen. So that's where the belief in this formula comes in. You can't put work behind the faith without believing, right? So the belief makes the work possible, all right? So how is this manifested in our business? This is manifested in two things, in my opinion. Putting a GMR of leads coming in, and then making the dials. See, this is the formula right here. GMR times dials will equal income. Okay, I know I'm getting geeky engineering on you. Okay, I'm going into geeky engineer mode. But GMR times dials equals money, and I've seen it. I've been selling GMRs hard lately because I've seen the evidence. I've seen the evidence that the people with GMRs are starting to get leads coming in, and then bang, they're making the dials and they're turning it into money. I mean, I've seen it with my own eyes. It's no different than you paying your cable bill and then having cable, paying your water bill and having water, paying electricity and having electricity, paying your GMR and having income. So let me break it down to you just even more simple. Okay, and this is my 15 years of experience. This is what I know to be true. And I tell you what, man, when I first got in this thing, back in the old days when Al Gore was just inventing the internet, back in the days when we had the Motorola flip phone, it was about yay big. Back in those days, had to walk uphill in the snow both ways to my leads, to run my leads. I was talking to Patrick today, and we went after it. We didn't even know it was going to work. They told us it would, and they showed us evidence of people making money in it, and we just chose to believe that the leads were going to work. And so we just went after it. We didn't care about paying for them. We just went after it because we knew it was going to work. Okay? I don't know why, other than we saw other people being successful. Andy Albrecht was doing it. And the other people he brought on showed that they were killing it. So, man, if they could do it, I could do it. Right? And so, breaking it down for you, let's just say you 10 A leads. Okay? Maybe that's, I don't know, that's $330. Okay, to invest in 10 A leads on a GMR. The numbers just be the numbers. So just to break it down simply, 1 out of 10 A leads, you're going to have 1 laydown. Okay? On average. Like, you can't say enough wrong things to this person to buy a policy. You can't say enough right things for this person to buy a policy. They're going to buy a policy. You're going to walk in and they're going to want to buy it. I don't care how good whether you use ATM or not. It's just the 1 out of 10 is a done deal, in my opinion. And I've seen it lead after lead after a lead, that you're going to at least get 1 that's a laydown. Okay. Even if you don't do 1,000, let's say it's $600 annual premium, you're going to basically make your lead investment back. So this first laydown already takes care of the lead cost out of 10. Out of 10 A leads, you're going to get 1 or 2, I'll be conservative and say 2, that no way in HE double hockey sticks that you're going to sell them. I don't care if you're a Dan Levine. I don't care if you're as good as Cord Goodson. I don't care if you're the best salesperson in the world. You know, if you're Obi-Wan Kenobi and you had the Jedi mind trick that you do on them, you are not going to sell them. They don't know why they sent the lead in. They have no earthly idea. They're mentally challenged. There are all kinds of reasons why you aren't going to close those 1 or 2. Right? So let's just call it 2. So out of 10 A leads, you're going to have 7 that are in play, in my opinion. You've already paid on your first laydown. The lead costs are done, paid for, counted like a Michael Jordan jump shot. And those of you who are too young to know who Michael Jordan is, one of the greatest players of all time, and you can Wikipedia him, he's the Jumpman logo. I know y'all think that he's just this clothes designer. So the remainder is where the money is made. Any sale on the remaining 7 is pure profit, equals pure profit. Pure profit. So you close 1 more, that's another $300 to $500. You close 1 more, it's another $300 to $500. Close 1 more, it's another $300 to $500. And this is even if you're not that good. Pure profit. Let alone, this is just on the first time pass through on sales, let alone referrals and annuities. Oh, and recruiting. What a concept. Let alone those things. Those are just gravy on the top, frosting on the cake, right? So why wouldn't you want to bet on you? I have a guy that said, Alex, I can get $800 on a high interest rate loan. I go, man, what are they going to charge you for that? He goes, you don't want to know. I'm thinking, they're going to charge you broken legs and broken fingers, I'm thinking. But you know what? I told him, I said, bro, if you're willing to make the dials, and you're willing to coach with me, and you're willing to go out and serve these people, oh, and you're willing to door knock the people that don't answer their phone, then I think that's a good bet. Now, I'm not talking to you getting in debt. It's a personal decision. I'm not asking you to do that. But if you're like me, all my credit cards were maxed out. I didn't have credit. I had to go sell some family and friends, actually friends, some life insurance so I can get the money to leverage. So that video that I talk about leveraging, bro, you're talking to the guy that had to do that because I didn't have any credit cards. I didn't have any. I had nothing except for sweat equity. The only credit card was Alex Abuyuan talking to his family and friends to see if I could offer them life insurance. I was not proud to offer them an opportunity to protect their families. So, man, who in the people that you care and love, who couldn't use a life insurance policy? I mean, you guys saw that thing I sent out on that tragedy that happened. Those two young kids that got killed in that van, and they were visiting in Las Vegas, the two mothers that lost their two children in that van fire. They don't have the money to transport the bodies back to where they live to bury them. There's no life insurance on the children. They didn't have any. They're still trying to figure that part out. And then before I sent that out, even before I knew about that, Tracy took a picture of a woman that was holding a sign on the street saying, begging for money to pay for a funeral. She didn't have any money. So I'm thinking there's probably a lot of people you know that could use your help. So if you don't have any extra money to invest, that's where you make the investment. Yeah, but you got to believe that you're providing your family a service. You're not just trying to make money off them. You're trying to help them. And that's what we have, the opportunity to help people. I think this is one of the greatest opportunities to help people. But does this make sense, gang? I'm telling you what, man. This thing works. Okay, Court says, I actually showed that picture to some of my appointments yesterday. I was thinking the same thing. This should be one of the pictures on your ATM. Like, I authorize you to add this picture in your ATM of the family of this woman that had the picture. In fact, Court, if you can unmute your line, tell us how that worked out.
Oh,
how did you do it? How did you do that?
Well, again, they were lower income, and I was going through and explaining, I'm basically asking, what are you going to do if, and the husband dies? What are you going to do? She says, I don't know. She says, but we can't really afford a whole lot. I said, hold one second. And I just pulled out my phone and I sent it to her and I said, do you want to be in this situation when something happens? And that was about it. I mean, the picture did everything for me, and we wrote it up.
A picture's worth 1,000 words, bro. That's awesome you did that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I love how you said that. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. In fact, Tracy, can you unmute? Is it *6 chord to unmute?
I believe so.
Tracy White, I don't know if she's still on. She's the one that took that picture.
I'm here. This is Tracy.
Yeah, hey Tracy. So tell me about that picture. Like, what were you doing? Like, you were just driving, and all of a sudden you see this person with the sign that says, what did the sign say? Something like funeral?
Yeah, it just said donate for a funeral. Please donate. I think, or funeral expenses. Please donate. I was taking my mom to the doctor, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get a picture of that. But you know how when you're driving, and plus I wanted to donate for them too. So I'm like trying to do it all to get a picture before I turn. It's tricky.
Wow.
And then I told them how I was so sorry, that they were going through that. And I honestly felt bad because Tucson is an area that I worked, and I thought, I wish I'd gotten to that family. It just made me feel really sad and bad, and thinking about how many families we need to get to. So, yeah,
Wow.
It's awful to see that, awful, and how many people are in that situation. I've talked to people about it who live in different parts of the country. We have car washes out here all the time. You see where they're having car washes to fund funerals. That's just what people do. It's crazy.
Wow. Well, wouldn't it be a trip if you saw that person was a client you sat down with and you couldn't take care of them? That would be the worst part right there.
That would be horrible.
That would be horrible. I mean, think about it. That could be anybody's client that they didn't take care of.
Well, honestly, I did think of it. I mean, even though I don't think they were a client that I didn't take care of, or maybe I wasn't bold enough or whatever. Hopefully they weren't. But it did make me think even, maybe a lead that I didn't get to, or I didn't, push hard enough, or I didn't go and door knock. It did. All those things ran through my mind, and gave me a little more urgency for the leads that I do have, just to make sure that I don't let them slip through the cracks. And I have some responsibility in having somebody out there having to do that instead of being taken care of.
Absolutely. Wow. Well, thank you for sending that to us, sending it out and sending it to me, and I sent it out, and man, and it helped close that deal. So I'm not going to say the court should share that commission with you, but
I was thinking that. I'm like, hey, court, come on. But I'm really glad. I do think a picture helps sometimes more than, us saying, well, what are you going to do? That's awesome, the way Cord used it. I'm so glad. And I learned from that, so I'll do the same thing.
I'm telling you what, I thought about it. I thought this is a perfect picture to put in your ATM. You should stick it right before the what if slide.
Yeah. And
then go into the what if slide. It just sort of paints the backdrop, and it's like a real picture. I mean, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, so gang, I hope this made sense to you as far as the numbers. The numbers work. But the numbers only work if you make them work. It's the work part. So your faith, you exercise belief by doing the work, which is getting set up on a GMR, geographic mailing request, a weekly order of leads. They don't got to all be A leads. They can be a bunch of different kinds of leads you get every week. And then you make the dials so you can make the money. And I'm giving you an A lead example, but maybe that's 20 A1s or 40 double A's or 80 triple A's or something that you can dial that you're getting fresh every week. And you put those two together, it's a winning combination. Okay? It really is. But you gotta get there and believe it's going to happen, just like the person who I read their goals. Okay? So anyway, I guess that's all. I mean, thanks, gang, for plugging in. Man, this works if you make it work. Let's work on your faith and belief. And you do that by getting around people that believe the way that you want to believe, which is attending these conference calls, attending all the hotspot meetings, coming to national conferences, going to the regional boot camps that Amy Albright's doing at the different locations around the country, right? You're going to get something from it, I'll promise you. And if you haven't got this book, in fact, I'll make this other offer that if you don't have this book yet, email me and I'll send you a free copy. And I'll got to remember to send out to the other people that I promised to. I mean, okay, so there you go. If you haven't gotten it already, I will send you a free copy. Just email me, let me know that you're on this call and that you want a copy of it. So thanks, everybody. Rock and roll, man. Let's keep the momentum going because we've got tremendous momentum. Let's just keep it rocking, gang. Let's let next week be the better than last week. And if you didn't turn anything in this week, your goal should be to turn something in, anything in next week, whether it's on a family or friend, whatever. on yourself, because you should be the first one you should cover, and get that in, and let's put you on the leaderboard. So if you've never been on the leaderboard, let's get you on the leaderboard, man. All right? So rock and roll, man. Appreciate y'all. Love you all. Let's rock this thing.